Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome if you're new here. My name is Shan from HomeWithShan over on Instagram, and in this video we're going to be talking all about George's 8-month update. Can you believe he's 8 months old? I absolutely can't believe it. I know I say that every single month, but he is growing so quickly and it's just crazy. So he's currently napping. I haven't had the chance to tidy up behind me, so you're just gonna have to ignore the background. So now he's 8 months old. He's having 3 bottles a day. The first 2 are 7-ounce bottles and the last one's 8 ounces. I don't know why we've done that, but we just did it and it's kind of stuck. He's having 3 meals a day, so he's having breakfast, lunch and dinner, and he's also having a snack in the middle of lunch and dinner, just because it seems to be around that time that he wants something, and it just works for us. So in terms of like the timings, they have changed slightly from our 6 to 9 month baby routine video, which I'll link here if you want to see it, because that's what he was doing around the 7-month mark. Now it's changed a little bit, so he'll wake up and we'll give him milk straight away as soon as he wakes up. So that's probably like 7, half 7, that's when he'll have his milk. Then he'll have breakfast at 8 o'clock, and then he'll go on to have another bottle about 12 o'clock, lunch at 12:30, and then he'll have a snack around probably about 4 o'clock, and then he'll have his last bottle of the day about 6-ish, maybe a little bit later, maybe like it's never earlier than 6, but a bit later than 6 sometimes, and then he has his dinner and then he goes down. The reason we do bottle before food is just because we find that he tends to actually eat his food a bit more once he's had his bottle. So yeah, that's just what works for us. He's also loving drinking water. He's getting so good at it. He literally does it with one hand from his Tommy Tippy sippy cup. He's absolutely loving it. He grabs it with like one hand and just lets it all go in. Like, he drinks it all. Definitely goes down a lot more than it used to. He can actually get it into his mouth for one, so that's actually a really positive thing. And he almost drinks an entire thing in a meal, which is crazy. He just didn't do that before at all. He also though does love chucking it, so he realizes that it comes out if you tip it upside down, so he does kind of like follow it as it's dripping all over his food and everything. So he does find that quite funny. He is really loving his food, so he's mainly baby led weaning recently, and that wasn't really my choice. That was just because it's what he would actually eat. So he really loves picking things up with his hands and putting them to his mouth, and he's really good at it, to be fair. And he's not, I mean, he's very messy, like very messy, but he is really good at you know, the hand-eye coordination, and I think that's always a good thing. So I just kind of encourage him to do that. Occasionally I'll try and give him something with a spoon, but it doesn't particularly go very well because he tries to grab the spoon and then he chucks it onto the wall. If I want to give him something like pasta or risotto and things like that, things that I like to give him, then I'll just tend to put it on his tray for him and he can just pick it up. He makes a right mess, but he does really enjoy it, and I'm kind of over the whole he's messy situation. I mean, he's gonna get messy. I'm just over it now by this point. He is struggling with naps recently, and not struggling necessarily with the nap itself, it's the going down for the nap. So like, he's tired, you pick him up, he starts sucking his thumb, like that is his cue that he is tired. And we do everything that we always have done, put him down in his cot, in his sleeping bag, maybe pop some white noise on, maybe a lullaby, maybe nothing, like. But anyway, there's always a blackout blind. It's always the exact same environment that he's been used to his entire life. Put him down in the cot and he just screams and really cries, and I hate the sound of it. But the only thing that works, instead of going in and picking him up all the time whenever he's like that, leaving him for 5 minutes and timing the 5 minutes. Like, if I say, oh, I'll leave him for 5 minutes and then he carries on crying for 2 minutes, I'll probably go in. So I time it for 5 minutes, and 9 out of 10 times he calms down, does his noises. He does this like noise that's not a cry, but it's not quiet, it's like a little whine, and it's his like I'm tired whine, and then he goes down. So if I do give him 5 minutes, generally he does go back down. Obviously sometimes he does just get himself so worked up that he's never going to go down, but after that his naps are still going well. It's just, he's just really, I don't know, hating his cot at the moment initially, until he gets down to actually going for his sleep, and then he's fast asleep there and I can't hear anything from him. The monitor's on and I can't hear anything. So yeah, it's just a bit weird. He doesn't do that at night time though. That's the only time he doesn't do that. So at night time, after the bath, like obviously dry him off and everything, get him in his baby grow, in his pajamas, and then pop him in his cot, and he's never ever crying when I put him in his cot. So I really don't know what that is. Maybe he's just like worked up, too stimulated. I don't really know what it is, and he just doesn't want to switch off. But He really fights his naps during the day. But once he does actually have his nap, he has generally, it's really different to what it used to be. So it's 2 hours roughly, like it could be an hour and a half or 2 hours, like a long nap in the morning, and then in the afternoon you have a shorter nap, like maximum an hour. Yeah, worst comes to worst, he has about 2 hours sleep. Best comes to best, he has about 3 hours sleep, like in the day, and then at night he's doing really, really well, and he's still sleeping through the night, 7 till 7 generally. Like occasionally we'll have a 6 a.m. wake up, or sometimes we actually have like an 8 a.m. wake up, which is just random, and I cannot understand it, but obviously I'm very grateful for those days. Thank you very much, George. George is also talking loads, so he's saying mama now, which I obviously absolutely love. I mean, I know that he's not saying it for me, because he says it when he's upset, like when he's in his jumperoo for too long, or although I don't know, just when he's like getting a bit whiny, he says mam 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 ma, like that. But he also says ba 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 ba, but that's not when he's upset, that's just generally when he's chatting away to himself. He's yet to say dada, he hasn't said that. I tried to be encouraging towards that, but yeah, I don't know, he's just not, it's not a word he can say. But other than that, he's so vocal, and he's like really loud and just wants to chat all the time. Nothing that he's saying is making sense, but he is always saying something, and he's making loads of really random noises. So he's always like, is it like raspberries that he's blowing? Like he basically makes it sound like a motorbike. So it's like he loves that. He's doing that all the time, but he goes like high pitch, low pitch, and it literally sounds like a motorbike is like accelerating and decelerating. It's so funny. That's his like a recent favourite thing to do, I think. He's also got his 2 bottom teeth. So these 2 bottom teeth he hasn't got any other teeth, but 2 bottom teeth, and they are full teeth now. Like, okay, they're not full teeth, but they're really like, they're proper teeth. They're not little stumps anymore, and they came through at the same time when we were up in Yorkshire. So when he was about 7 months and a bit, so yeah, just after he hit 7 months, them teeth came through. And yeah, it's so funny when he smiles now, because you can see his little teeth. He's a proper little baby. Like, it's so crazy that he hasn't just got gums anymore. But yeah, he's dribbling all the time, so I know that there's a couple of more, well, I feel like some more teeth are coming through at some point, but I can't feel any. But we are actually brushing his teeth now, which that's a bloody mission. Like, brushing a baby's teeth is actually impossible. But yeah, we've got him a little toothbrush and a little fluoride toothpaste, and I'm trying to do that every morning after his breakfast and every night after his dinner. I have forgotten an awful lot, I'm not gonna lie. It is hard to add something to the routine that's never ever been a thing before, but I'm trying to like set alarms on my Alexa and on my phone and stuff to keep reminding me that I have to brush George's teeth. He's also loving basically hitting any kind of object on any kind of hard surface, whether they're together, like on the floor, on his high chair, like on the tray thing in front of him, on his like mama's and papa's chair, basically anything that makes a noise, like a percussion sound, he is loving. Like, he just loves any kind of bashing. He's doing it with toys, he's doing it with his spoon, with bowls, with just anything basically. He's just loving making any kind of racket he can. And I'd say that he's sitting up pretty perfectly. Like, actually, in actual fact, he's going from sitting up to, like, he wants to get something, so he'll crawl forward and he'll reach, and then he'll actually go onto his stomach, onto his like front, which I think is really, really cool. So I'm very happy for him to like leave him in the middle of the room somewhere and not be worried that he's gonna fall over like I used to be. He's very, very like sturdy on his, like, when he's sitting up. One of the things that I'm really, really excited about, also scared about, is the fact that he's now like pulling himself across the room. So he could roll to things before, like he could roll across the room, but now he's like pulling himself across the room like a little army crawl. It's so funny. The other day I put him on the playmat and then saw, just to see what he did, I put him sat up, he'd go onto his front and then pull himself over to my laptop, and he kept doing it, and he's just been doing that non-stop since then. He literally learned that like maybe a week ago, and then now he's just doing it constantly. I can't leave him anywhere, so I really have to start baby proofing, which is so scary. I'm getting some baby gates delivered next week, but he's really interested in wires and doors, and they're things that I'm just not sure, especially with the wires. I don't know how I'm going to be able to like organise them in a way that's baby proofed, but I'm gonna do my research and I will hopefully have some tips for you in the future when I actually figure out what the hell I'm doing. He also keeps pulling himself up on me, so if I put him down facing me and just having like sat down and put my hands out for him, he actually uses my hands and to push himself up, and then comes to like grab me, and I'm like, oh, you're giving me a cuddle. No, he's trying to grab my necklace. And anything shiny like this, especially this necklace, for some reason it's got his initial on it, maybe he knows it's his, he grabs it and he just like really wants to have it and stuff. Anything shiny generally he's really interested in. But anyway, he absolutely is so strong. I can't believe how strong he is. I'm sure it's very normal for this age group, but I cannot believe the difference between 7 and 8 months in terms of his strength, his core strength, his arms, like everything. He's so strong, so I'm very impressed with him, but it does scare me a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. He's gonna be climbing the stairs and it's just gonna be chaos, but it is fun to see him grow. He's still loving playing with things in baskets, so anything like really little in a basket, picking them up, taking them out, it's his favourite thing. He's absolutely obsessed still with these 3 things. Probably his Tommy eggs is his favourite toy. He loves his jumperoo still though, to be fair, and he also loves this little wooden bell rattle thing. He absolutely loves it. So anything that he can put in a basket though is like his favourite thing, to take them out and then chuck them, then take another thing out and then chuck them, bash them together. Like he's very happy to just entertain himself that way for a fairly long time, to be fair, as long as the toys like rotate a little bit, because he does get bored of the same things. Never of those eggs, he never gets bored of those eggs, but everything else, if it's there for a little while, I think I probably have to take it away and replace it with something else to keep it fresh for him. George is loving his new car seat. He was getting a bit bored of his other one because it was really like reclined, and he does not like really being that reclined, I don't think, in anything. He likes to be sat up and observing things. So his new car seat is the Graco Turn to Me rotating car seat. I actually put it up in a vlog very recently. It was called Real Mum Life, and it was an ad that I did with Graco, but I kid you not guys, it's such a game changer for us. I've got a Mini, a very small car, and to have a rotating car seat is just perfect. Plus he is sat up, you can recline it, but he likes being sat up in it mainly, and George is very happy in it. So he's in his new grown-up car seat, and that will actually go from like newborn to 4 years, because there's like loads of inserts you can take out and stuff. I've taken the inserts out for him and it seems so much more comfortable for him than his previous one, so I'm very happy about that. His hair is growing loads and I feel like it's getting longer and thicker. I also think it's getting a little bit darker. I think probably just because there's more of it that it looks darker, but he's definitely still my blonde-haired, blue-eyed little boy. He is absolutely gorgeous. He's still generally smiley and happy most of the time. There are very definitely times where he's not, but generally he's a very happy boy. He's so ticklish, bless his heart, so I can always get a giggle out of him. Even if he's grumpy, I'll try and like tickle under his armpits or tickle his thighs, and he does absolutely crack up. So at least I've got that. So that is everything for George's 8-month update. I really hope you enjoyed it, and this will probably go up a couple of weeks after George turns 8 months, so I'm pretty sure by the next time I talk to you after this video, he'll be doing way more stuff than he's learnt to do recently. But I'm just so excited to see him develop even more. But it is really scary when they start to move. Like, that is really scary to me. I wondered if you guys had any advice or anything on baby proofing, because I do feel like I'm a little bit out of my depth on this one. But let me know in the comments down below if you've got anything like helpful about baby proofing, or if it is just trial and error. But yeah, I think I will leave it here and I will see you in the next one. I really hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Bye.
But then you came along and proved me all wrong. I was so mistaken, 'cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby.